Hello everyone, and welcome to Overwatch 101. I'm feeling a little bit better now, better than I did in my last video. This series is going to be helping Overwatch console players. Turns out there aren't very many of us Overwatch console players. Most people play on PC, at least that's what I've heard. Now, people who play on console are going to have supposedly a harder time aiming. People say it's easier to aim with a mouse. That may very well be true, but I've used controller and analog stick my entire life, so that's what comes natural to me. I've tried mouse and keyboard, it just doesn't work very well in my opinion. The movement also of your character just comes so much more naturally with an analog stick. It's very responsive, you don't have to move your fingers too much, it's just your thumbs working the action, right? So that works better for me. But anyway, getting back to the point, this is going to be a series, hopefully a long-running, listen to me, mushmouth, a long-running series to help console Overwatch players. There aren't too many YouTubers and Twitch streamers out there who stream and YouTube Overwatch on console, so hopefully I can see some success with this, and hopefully I can help some people. That's my biggest goal here, is to help people, right? I want to help people get better at this game, especially the newcomers. Today, what we're going to be going over is something very basic, and that is, if you can see that green cross in the middle of the screen, that is called your reticle. Now, of course, that is where your bullets will go when you press the right trigger to fire. Okay, now that's obviously very basic, and yes, pretty much everyone knows that, but I'm just saying that for anyone who doesn't. And of course, you fire at someone's body, it does a little bit of damage, and when you fire at their head, it does a lot more, right? So, you always want to aim for the head. Now, of course, if you can't aim for the head, then yes, aim for the body, and you can still get the kill, right? But always aim for the head when you can. Get the kill a lot faster and save yourself some hassle. Now, I want to talk to you about the reticle specifically, okay? When the game first boots up, let's go into options here. Okay, I pressed options on my controller and went into options there on the menu. Alright, now, when you first boot up the game, it starts you with a white reticle. Now, the reason I have changed to the green reticle is because that stimulates my eyes much more than the white reticle. Imagine if I were looking off into the distance there and I had the white reticle, it would almost blend in a little bit, wouldn't it? But with this bright lime green reticle, it's a whole lot easier to see where I'm aiming. It will not get lost at all anywhere on the screen. There are very few bright green images here in Overwatch. Bright green backgrounds, bright green walls, very few of that, if any at all. So in my opinion, the bright green reticle is the best one to use. Now, of course, we'll go back into options and I'll show you, I will show you that there are many colors that you can choose from. Red is also a standout, but there are quite a few red backgrounds here. The light blue is a standout, but I would say that you're likely to see light blue at some point as well. The lime green, I think, is just the best to use, and this is what I would recommend use. Many pros use this, semi-pros, just people who are good at Overwatch in general, instructors and so on and so forth. And the shape of the reticle that I use is the short crosshairs. And the reason I use these is because, as you can see, it's got the horizontal line and the vertical line that makes the T. This actually helps your brain track horizontally and vertically until you find the sweet spot, right? If I'm moving along, I use the horizontal line and boom, there I am. If I'm looking down, I use it and boom, there I am. Now, of course, this all happens in a matter of microseconds. Your brain, second nature at this point, has helped you to understand that your thumb needs to move it in X direction and Y direction and this and that and the other to end up here on the head, right? You've been playing video games for a while now, so that's second nature to your brain, right? But it's still nice to have. If we go back into the options, you'll see here that there are very many of these that you can choose from, right? We've got default, which is what the game starts you with, circle, crosshairs, short crosshairs, and dot, all right? Just for the sake of doing it, I'm going to go down to soldier, because you have to do this manually for each hero. Well, you don't have to for each hero, there's all heroes, but I'm doing it for soldier so that I don't mess up any of my presets, and I'm going to switch it to dot. And now you'll see that it is just a dot in the middle of the screen. Now this this is a much more expert level of aiming, right? Because you don't really have any horizontal lines or vertical lines to help you get to the point, right? You just know that when the green point is on their head, that's when you're going to get that damage. Now you can use the dot, and you could use it pretty effectively, right? But the crosshairs, however, right? Let's go back. Sorry, that's not the right thing. Let's go back into crosshairs. I should say back into options, not just back into crosshairs. Let's go to regular crosshairs and not short crosshairs. Now, look at that. It gives you the exact same thing that the short crosshairs does, right? It gives you a vertical line and a horizontal line to track that head. However, this is much larger than the short crosshairs. And to me, that can be very distracting, right? It takes up just a little too much of the screen for my taste, okay? So, even though I like the crosshairs, the big crosshairs are just a little too much for me. So, of course, go back to Soldier, and I will be switching back to short crosshairs. I'll show you circle just for... Oh, that's a dot. Flub. Gracious me. Alright. Let's go back to... I think for Soldier, I believe his default is also the large crosshairs. Yes, see. So for each hero, they they may share default reticles, but they do have a lot of differences in their default reticles. Oh, almost made that mistake. If you watch my first video, I talk about how you have to be very careful when going back and choosing a hero and then changing that, right? You can't just do it right away. Alright, now we're back at the short crosshairs. Now I've got the horizontal line and the vertical line that helps me track the target, and it's not invasive at all. It's not too big, right? It's not taking up too much of the screen. It's a nice bright color that helps me see right where it is when it's on their head. I won't get it lost anywhere, right? So this, in my opinion, is what is recommended. This is the best. Now, of course, you don't have to listen to my advice if you don't want. You're completely free to choose whatever you like, whatever suits you best. But I think this will work best for pretty much everyone, right? Now let's talk a little bit about sensitivity. Because sensitivity is a sensitive subject in video games. Is high sensitivity good? Is low sensitivity good? Well, for me, I'll show you. I have 50 sensitivity for every hero, right? 50 sensitivity for every hero, right in the middle, not too big, not too little. It's Goldilocks, that's her name. Goldilocks, cut that one. Goldilocks and the Three Bears. It's right in the middle. It's not too much, it's not too little. I'll show you what too little looks like, just for reference. Let's go to Soldier, right? Because I'm only going to change it for Soldier. And we'll go down on the sensitivity all the way to 0. Alright. Now. Oh my goodness. I have my thumb pressed all the way against the sides. And it's just like I'm turning through mud. Oh, it's too slow. Right? Because what if someone sneaks up on me? Let's say they sneak up on me like this robot has. Well, I want to turn around and shoot him, but I'm dead already. Right? He's killed me already. Especially if it's somebody super dangerous like a Reaper or a McCree when they sneak up on you, right? Let's say they sneak up on you, you know about it, you turn, you're dead. Boom. I only made it halfway, and I'm dead already. So, let's go back into options. Go back to Soldier. Then we'll go back to 50, right? Actually, we'll go up to 100. We'll show the extremes, 0 and 100. Going all the way up to 100. Now, whoa, roller coaster ride, baby. Okay, now, this is, in my opinion, is too much. Now, of course, you may work your way up to this sensitivity later on, right? You get used to higher sensitivities. But, for me, if he does sneak up on me and I want to turn around and get him, whoa, I've turned too far, right? We'll pretend that this guy isn't there, right? He sneaks up on me, I know about it, whoop, I've turned too far, right? Because I'm used to other sensitivities. So he still kills me because I've turned too far, which means I have to take time to turn back, and surely by that time I'm probably dead. So that's why I always have the Goldilocks middle option, right? 50 sensitivity. That works best for me. Almost made the mistake again. Be very careful about that. Let's go back to 50. All right. Now we're back at 50. And it feels good, right? It feels really good. Not too much, not too little, right where it needs to be, right? He sneaks up on me, bam. I turn around and I kill him. He sneaks up on me, bam. I turn around and I kill him. Okay? Bam. Dead, right? It's all about reaction time in this game. All right. Now, that's everything I have for you on reticles and sensitivity. I hope this has helped just a little bit. And it's all about finding what you like. It's all about finding your personal preference. But these are just a few guidelines that I can give you in this game to help your aim a little bit. Thank you for watching. Overwatch 101, signing off.